Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's Uncle Bruce here. Stock Markets with Bruce. Final 2 hours of our day, our last hour of the market and the first hour in the aftermarket. Tuesday, May the 4th, 2021. Welcome one, welcome all. Nice to have you here. Have you noticed how the GameStop shares have come back? Have you noticed how the Dow has come back? I left you a little while ago, and the markets were off 200 plus points for the Dow. It's now down 84. It's had an attempt here at a pretty strong recovery. GameStop, wow, it was as low as 151 today, 151.86, and it's now 159.18. It has broken 160 a couple times in the last 20 minutes. And that 160 level doesn't seem to be an issue for the stock as far as a barrier goes. It's just a question of will a sustained buy wave come into this oversold stock and move it higher? Volume 3.5 million shares, so it's not a we're not battling millions of shares of resistance here. There's not a lot of selling going through here. Very interesting. Over on AMC, 927 down 44 cents. And Microvision, recovery and a gain, up 254 at 1640 right now is the Microvision share. Their volume 57 million, so still very good volume. And I was pretty sure this morning around 11:30 it was done for. I thought, oh boy, it's just not looking good at all. It was down as low as what was that price? Sitting around 13.20 a share, something like that, 13.10. And it's come back $3 to be at 16.30. But keep in perspective, this stock has backed off Microvision in the last week. It was as high on the markets earlier this week, like on the 28th, it was $25. And even on the April 29th, it was at 19.20. And now here we are here, yesterday and today from 17 down to 1280 this morning. So it took quite a shot down. This might be just a partial recovery. This is not a signal that it's coming all the way back. It's just a little rally maybe. We'll see. I don't know. It's got a long way to go to salvage a lot of people, unfortunately, on NVIS. GameStop, like I said, 159.56 on very light volume. On the SPAC front, fifth wall, down 13 cents to 10.87, and that has been flatlining. It was flatlining around 11 this morning, and now it's kind of flatlining around 10.90. It's rather interesting to watch that. We have Vector Acquisition down 21 cents to 10.26. We've got Navsite Holdings down 3 cents to 9.89. We have IPOE started off with a real drop this morning. Looked like it was down as low as 15.71, and then it did a snapback, a real fast one. And within a half an hour, it was up to practically 16.40 a share, just about. That is the high, actually, 16.40. That was around 10.30 this morning, and then it backed off around 11.30 again to the 16.10 range, and it has been hanging around sort of 16.10 to 16.25. It's now 16.16 on 1.7 million shares, so which is going to become SoFi. This company will become SoFi. This stock will be one of the most active traded stocks on the stock exchange. I see 10 million plus a day or more. Like, I see a lot of trading on this stock once it is merged in by the end of the month. It could become a Reddit darling. There's a possibility that it might get a lot of talk on Reddit. It's the right kind of company in the right kind of business to the right kind of customers that Wall Street Bets and Reddit would love to follow. IPOE. It's online banking, online lending, student loans, home assistance, car loans. This is right in the wheelhouse of the Reddit reader and Wall Street Bets follower. Do not be surprised if down the road SoFi becomes a very, very active stock, and there will not be enough stock down here to hold it. I just don't think so. Gore's Holdings up 4 cents, 12.42. High today, 12.48. It was as low as 11.82 this morning on one quick down drop, a real knife edge drop right around 11:30 this morning. It had gone from about the $12 mark to 11.82, now at 12.42, $60 higher, 60 cents higher, not dollars, 60 cents higher. But a nice run, and 543,000 shares on Gores. Matterport, it's this one is going to be a very well watched stock. VGAC now, like I say, down 2 cents to 9.99. Starboard value down 3 to 9.94. Fortress value up a nickel to 10.05. And Vanek Vectors was really down in the dumps this morning. It hit 232 today, 232.80. It's now 236.10 and coming back on. I am surprised at how low computer chip makers are being pummeled. I'm just surprised by it because these guys are getting, they have no sales problems. They have no collection problems. They have no getting order problems. It's not like these guys have to produce chips in 15 different locations, put them all together like a car. They're produced in one factory, I think from beginning to end in one house, and out they go. And they're up to here in business. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm really puzzled as to why would these shares be under any pressure at all. It just makes no sense to me. It's as far as I'm concerned, this is a long-term 5-year winner. They're talking out there, and when I say they, talking heads on the TV. By the way, this thing's down $22 from its high, 258 Vanek Vectors. So it's got a ways to go to get to its high. It's a great buy here, but they're talking about stuff like, oh yeah, the computer chip shortage. It's going to last all this year, and it'll be addressed by the end of next year, probably. So the end of 2023 into 2024, they'll finally kind of catch up with the backlog. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if that's true, because every 2 years, computers and computer chips completely turn over and have to be that much more powerful and that much faster. Even the chips they're producing now, that they're delivering now, will be outmoded in 2 to 3 years. So I don't think this ends in a year and a half. I think by the time these guys catch up with current needs and demands, there'll be a new, stronger, better chip available that will be the one that everyone will want. And I think this is a 4 or 5 year thing. In any event, even though they say, yeah, by the end of next year, they'll catch up, then the thinking is, well, then it's all over. I'm going, what do you mean it's all over? They're not going to produce cars anymore in 2025. They're not going to produce refrigerators and stoves. They're not going to produce new versions of iPhones or iPads. I mean, they don't need chips anymore in 2025. I'm missing something here. I'm not sure what planet these guys are on. When you get behind in the high-tech game like these guys are, and the item that is needed in the high-tech world is a very sophisticated chip. This is the brains of the computer. This is the brains of everything. There is no getting around it. It's not like we'll just beef up this piece and we'll be able to solve the problem. There's no getting around the fact that you need a chip in the middle of it all. In the home of the motherboard, you need the chip to deliver the goods. And with 5G technology coming out everywhere, the amount of info that we're going to be able to ram through the ecosystem, the data ecosystem, it's exponentially going to be unbelievable. And I think virtual gaming is one area, but I think virtual real estate is another. Imagine sitting on your couch at home looking for a new house. You're going to be looking through virtual reality glasses, taking a tour through your new house or condo. And Matterport will be part of it. The 5G network will be part of it. But you're going to need the virtual reality unit and the driver, the computer driver, to drive that kind of instant data to you, so that if you do this and do that to look around, it's not like a choppy picture. It's smooth. It's like live, and you can walk through the house. You can run through the house. So you can imagine throwing these onto your kids' heads, and you're in a big room, like a big rec room, and your child can walk through the house and look through. There's a whole new world coming. This is and it's coming fast. I mean, months away, like 18 months, 24 months. There's a whole new world just around the corner here, guys. There's no standing still. They're just this computer chip thing. Do not think that this is a one-year problem. There's a whole lot more coming. Anyway, it's just Bruce thinking ahead. Home Depot up 66 cents. IBM up 73 cents today. The Dow now down 82 points, and Microsoft down $5, Apple down $5, two bargoons. But I will defend the stocks in some ways. Apple has had a pretty darn good 2-year run. Let me take a look at the. Look at the Apple shares for the last 2 years. Look at that chart. That's just a chart with a little topping at the end here. Looking at a 5-year chart of Apple, I mean, come on. Look at that. That stock has been ahead of its earnings for years, and only now are the earnings catching up to the stock. It's not the other way around, that the stock is way behind the earnings. The earnings have been ahead of the stock, and finally the earnings are catching up to where the stock has been. The stock has been running a decade. Look at the decade. Look at the curve in the last 2 years, 3 years on this Apple, right from over here. Just this is straight up, out and out crazy acceleration right there. Just insane right there. That's nuts. And the shares, maybe the shares should have only been at $110 the whole time, not at 140 for the high. Amazing. Here's your last year, so it's topping out here. And here's your last 6 months where we've had dips, ups and downs. This is low tech showing you this, but I'm just trying to give you the point that the stock's at now 28.6 times earnings. It's kind of where it's supposed to be, in a way. But don't think that the earnings won't continue to grow. They will. This next quarter coming up will be another blockbuster quarter. It will blow last year's quarter away. It may not be as good as the quarter we just had, but then again, it could be just as good as we just had. But the numbers for the next year will be substantial again, and the quarter again substantial. And so the shares will go higher. They will hit new highs this year. I fully expect Apple to be over 150 a share later this year. And it could well be that right now the market is just having a little burp and is kind of settling in as the earnings are catching up to all the froth. So there's less froth and more liquid in the beer stein. And then we start adding more beer. As soon as that foam calms down a little bit, we add more beer and keep filling this thing up. It's going higher because we keep sipping from it. We love it. 159.65 on GameStop now is where we're at there. Tesla down $20 a share to $663. Bed Bath & Beyond down 27 cents to $24.90 and climbing. Bed Bath & Beyond has come on from a low of $24.06 to $24.90. So it's come up 86 cents, 84 cents a share. Coming on. A lot of stocks are coming on right now. They're all shooting higher because the markets are improving. Again, let me look at the Dow here. This is a 1 day of the Dow. You can see the opening here. We had a lousy morning right down here. We dipped at 11 o'clock, and the low of the day was 33,765. We're now at 34.21. We have come up 287 points, 290 points has been the gain to be down only 99. So this market was down 300 plus points today, the Dow. This is a major turnaround. It's very good. A lot of money on the sidelines coming into an oversold market. It went down too far too fast. And the street is coming in. 159.98 on GameStop, right at that, just under that 160 level right now, as we are waiting to see whether the stock wants to break through 160 for the last hour. We're at 45 minutes to go now. AMC at 926 after hitting a low of 905. First thing this morning, first 30 minutes, we were down to 905. And it's been a slow rise to 940, back down to 910, now back to 927, but it's still up 44 cents, unfortunately, for AMC shareholders. AMC at 927 right now. All right, 160 on GameStop, 160.14 on GameStop. I don't know if the stock will have a rally to go beyond this, but you know what? It's only down 220 on the day, and it could well have an up day when it's all said and done. This could be a plus day on the big markets as well, although NASDAQ will not have an update today from where I sit, being down 324 points with Apple and Microsoft down $4 or $5 each. You're not going to have an update on NASDAQ. The Dow can overcome it if the rest of the Dow does rally, or if Apple's losses start to get shaved backwards. It's a question of just whether Microsoft and Apple want to have a recovery to a degree of this loss. Right now, 526 is the downside on Microsoft. 245.76 is the low. It's at 246.60. So the stock is just not quite $1 off its low. If Microsoft can come back $1 or $2 more, and Apple can come back $1 or $2 more, it's entirely likely. It's entirely possible here. 126.70 for the low on Apple. It's now 127.39, 69 cents off the low. Apple gains $2 from here. Microsoft gains $2 from here. And the rest of the Dow keeps performing the way it is. You might have an up day on the Dow, or at least a virtual non-loss. We'll see. It's not a massive sell-off. It's not an ugly day. It's not a throw in the towel day. It's not a throw out the kitchen sink day. Nothing like that. The Nasdaq's down 2.3%. The Dow is off 1/4 point. That's it. 1/4 percentage point is all the Dow is experiencing, even with Apple and Microsoft under pressure today. And I think they're long-term buys anyway. So there you go. That's what you got. What are you going to do? Yes, that's correct, Michael. You've got it. You've got at least 100 shares. You can write calls, and that is an idea. That is a strategy. That is nothing wrong with this at all. 160.17, Antoinette, you've got it. Scott Coleman, thank you again, Scott. Just seeing here a donation coming in from Scott Coleman on PayPal. Thank you, Scott, so much for your support. Jen and I say hi to you, and best greetings to you and everyone over there in the UK. Hope you're doing well, and thank you again for your endless support of my channel. It's absolutely fabulous. Let's see here. Thank you again for those of you who are subscribing to Stock Markets with Bruce. Thank you. Welcome, new subscribers. And those of you who are hitting the bell notification icon, make sure you do that when you subscribe to this channel. You will be alerted every time we do a new video or any new updates. Also, all of you who have become members of this channel, thank you all so much for this. A number of you I'm noticing, are rejoining the channel too. Some of you, you're finding that your membership, you have to hit the button every month to renew, and you're taking a day or two. You realize, oh, geez, my membership expired, and then you're hitting the rejoin button. I do get those. Mike Sullivan, Peter Novak, and Isaiah Irakiev, thank you for rejoining the channel today. That just came through here a little earlier. Also to Dom the Man 1234 has rejoined. Philip 4511 rejoined. Galaxy Cat, Myra Rodriguez, all rejoined the channel again. Thank you. Deeper Value rejoined. Thank you. Melvin rejoined. Thank you, guys. That's beautiful. Just great that you're doing that for us, and sticking around for another month to have fun with the emojis and sending us messages and catching alerts every time we do updates here. I'm looking at thumbs ups going across right now. 246 thumbs ups have come in. Thank you, everybody, so far for these thumbs ups. Appreciate it. We have 1,149 of you now watching us for the last 41 minutes to go in the day to see where we end up here. 250 thumbs ups now as they're coming in. Only 12 thumbs down, so we got 250 thumbs ups. Nice 20-to-1 ratio. Thank you. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, you guys, and keep it powering up. The more thumbs ups we're getting, the more YouTube will promote this channel to the rest of the world, and that is what it's all about, growing the channel and the following, and allows us to spread the message of this market to more people in plain English. And I think people could use some plain English these days. There's too much gobbledygook everywhere else. So let's go with plain English and use that strategy. And we'll take it from there. Thank you, everybody. Welcome all, says Wally's World, and I agree. Any thoughts on DuPont? Institutional ownership, 106%, better than expected earnings today. I really don't. I don't have any thoughts on DuPont. Company's been around forever. I just don't follow it, and I bet you there are a lot of stocks out there that have that kind of ownership, and the stocks either do or do not do much. Melvin, not selling oranges by the highway yet, I guess. Uncle Bruce, Vic is asking, what does volume of a stock indicate? Besides the obvious that diamond hands are not selling, are there any takeaways from constant days of low volume? Higher volume indicate covering shares. No, high volume, low volume doesn't mean that at all. But sometimes it's not the volume itself that's the question. It's sometimes the size of the trades that's the question. You can have a low volume day, but a lot of action. You can have a volume, low volume day on GameStop, but have a ton of transactions because it's retail to retail buying and selling. There are other days where you don't get much activity on GameStop as far as how many transactions are taking place, but some of the trades are larger. There's just so many larger trades in one day, block trades we like to call it in the past. And so if you got some large funds moving stock from one fund to another, or you got a seller looking to offload $500,000, and the brokerage firm that's trying to sell the stock makes some calls, and they find buyers for the stock. Next thing you know, $500,000 is traded in like a minute, and all of a sudden you're looking at the volume going, wow, look at all that volume, one trade. It can happen that you can have both can happen, obviously. A very active day where small and large traders are trading like crazy. But remember, for every buyer, there has to be a seller. And sometimes a buyer wants 1 million shares, and there's only 100 and 200 and 500 share sellers. And that buyer's going to wait a while to get hit for that stock, or they're going to have to chase it up to find it. Volume can sometimes definitely tell you something like there's big problems in the big city, especially if it's accompanied by a major drop in price. If a stock, drops on really heavy volume when usually doesn't do that kind of activity, well, then something happened. Something was said, indicated, what have you, and that could be an earnings call, that could be an analyst's downgrade, who knows, could be the failure of a deal that had been pending. Other times you see the reverse, where a heavy volume, heavy up move, and you can trace that to an announcement, to a press release, to whatever. As far as covering and shorting and stuff, volume has very little to do with it. Volume really, typically speaking, volume will not tip you off that people are shorting the stock or trying to buy the stock. It's movement of stock prices that will give you a sign, perhaps. But there can be heavy low volume and absolutely nothing sinister is going on. It's just innocent trading. It's just business as usual. I've seen stocks trade a lot of shares and not move very much, and I've seen companies trade a little bit of stock and it moves all over the place. It sometimes is unpredictable, and you dig into it. If you're able to dig into it, you might be able to find out some very boring information that there was just some reallocations going on with hedge funds or an index fund or a pension fund just decided to offload a position, and they decided that Wednesday was the day to do it. They just whatever. Anna B, Jack Bauer's Damon's is casual but really good if you like steaks. Well, that's great. People talking about food here. Again, we love talking about food. I better keep going. Let's see. It only matters if it goes to 11. That's right. The volume really only matters if you turn the knob to 11. Then it's extra loud, because normally the knobs only go to 10. But that one extra, that if you ever watched the movie Spinal Tap, you know what I'm talking about. That one little extra notch makes it just a little louder. That can be the difference between a superstar rock band and anyone else. Jack Bauer, gotcha. We're back to talking about food. 11 shares traded. No, we're just talking about the volume dial with Spinal Tap. Ostrike, thank you, Ostrike. There is no manufacturing process more advanced in technology and precision than integrated circuit manufacture. That's why Intel has had issues resulting in years worth of delays. There you go. The question, of course, is for everyone, how much longer will it take Intel to get their act together? And I look at the stock sitting down here at, what is it now? $56.62 off 65 cents today, trading at a 12.7 times earnings. And I'm thinking that in the next year to 3 years, this company's got its act together because they hired the people to get the act together. I don't think this is a 10-year problem. I don't think this is a 5-year problem. I think the problems may have already been had and the solution has already been reached, and that Intel is now operating at a much better efficient level. And at 12.7 times earnings, they don't have to be all that successful to really make a lot more money. They improved their earnings by 25% this year over next year over this year. That stock will double in price. because first of all, a 25% increase in earnings will take the PE multiple from where we are now down to about 10. But the street will go, oh, they've got their act together, or we'll trade it at 20 times PE. That means it goes to $112 a share, or 110 bucks a share. So I think Intel is poised for a nice up move when the street figures out that that Intel has kind of figured it out. But right now, with all the other chatter going on, Intel is being ignored and is kind of slipping through the cracks, and it's doing what it's doing quite quietly in the shadows, and there's no one really cheerleading the stock. So there you have it. It's like 10, but it's one more. That's right, Wally. You got to understand, when you have a guitar, they only go to 10. When you have an amplifier, they normally just go to 10. But if you've got the special kind of amplifier that Spinal Tap had in the movie, they go to 11, and that made the band just that much louder than other bands. And that must the difference between them selling out their theaters and their stadiums. It's amazing. Waffle, no, as in turn up the volume past 10 and blow your eardrums out. There you go. Hello, all from Ona. Blair, oh, so you're saying it's not the size, it's how you use it. Well, that can help. Sometimes, talented moves can get you somewhere. Colin, I've been meaning to tell you for a long time that I love your afro. Anna's saying, Colin, love your afro, man. Way to go. Okay, that's good stuff. I'll need both hands and 1 foot, says Wally. Jane Doe, and hey, on it. Thanks. I work hard on it. This afro, I work hard on this afro. I mean, take a look at that thing. That doesn't just come along. You don't wake up looking like that. Oh no, you don't wake up looking like that. Wally's World, Watermelon on a break. Yay! Hello, Jane. How are you this afternoon? Folks are visiting, having a good old time here on this channel today. That's what members do on channels like this. You get to hang out with a good crowd and not worry about too much troll activity. It's kind of nice. And we have a good time here. 159.67 on GameStop now, down 253 on the day. AMC at 929, unfortunately, still under pressure, down 42. Where Microvision up $2 to 1586. It's been a little higher, but it's backing off just a tad. The Dow right now down 99.47 with 32 minutes to go. Can still have a rally if it wanted to. S&P down 45 and NASDAQ down 330. I kind of wonder if this might be a one-day sell-off like we've had in the last few weeks. We get these like one day where there's a sell-off, but then there's no conviction through it. There's no I want to keep selling kind of conviction, and people start bargain hunting and go, well, I'm gonna shift into something else. I kind of like that stock. It's kind of cheap now. I kind of like how that one dropped off. It's kind of cheap as you get this rotation going on. So selling pressure in the morning, flat in the afternoon, and then buying pressure towards the end of the day. And you have these U-shaped or V-shaped charts on all kinds of stocks, and it's just all over the place. I can see this pattern happening again and again, and we're watching to see just how this market wants to play it out. The Dow now down 91. It just came back about 10 points. Maybe it's got another little run left in it. We'll see. IPOE down 24 cents. Will it have a last half hour run as well? It's kind of famous for this lately. It's had this happen the last little while. The stock can do this towards end of days. We'll see what it wants to generate. IPOE rumors and reports out there of the value of IPOE between $20 and $27 a share the minute it is listed as a combined merged company with SoFi. The minute SoFi, this company becomes SoFi, the thinking is it's between $20 and $27 a share just on existing cash flow and earnings of SoFi now. The upside of SoFi, tremendous. The growth curve on SoFi, massive. And the stock, I think, will do much higher than that, personally, within a few weeks of listing, because once it's officially put together, this stock will be very heavily traded on the exchange, and I don't think there's enough paper down in these levels to satisfy the market. It's going to have to be higher. We'll see. We're at. We're here. We'll be here for that. 160.02 on GameStop. Right at this moment, volume now of 3.66 million shares. That's GameStop's volume today. 3.66 shares, 3.66 million. 82 point drop on the Dow. It just came back another 10 points. So the Dow has just gained about 20 points in about 4 minutes. There's a bit of a buying surge coming in on that Dow again on the 30. All right, let's see here. What else is going on? And Merkin says, was I the only one who woke up and read the news article saying that the GameStop sell-off was starting? I looked at the volume of 3 million, looked at the $6 drop. I laughed and I went back to sleep. Was I the only one who did that? Because it's not down that much anymore. How about plain Spanish? Oh man, Wally's World. What's that? Break days are good days. Okay. Americans loving this. Let's see. If GameStop is breathing, it hasn't moved in a minute. Is it breathing? Is anyone there? Is it alive? I'm more than ready, says Ona. I'm more than ready for the move. Anna, hey, Bruce, I really do love the stocks too. Laugh out loud. Hello, everybody from John. It's all good, everybody. I saw the sell-off has begun, not by us, not sure who they're talking about. We're not selling this stuff. Uncle Bruce, you are the best. And really, I really appreciate your insight on volume. Curious if you could also elaborate on how does a stonk know when something big is announced, like when Ryan Cohen became chairman? Well, this is where you've got to keep your eyes and ears open for press releases and updates. But sometimes a stock can tell you. Sometimes a chart can tell you. You look over a stock chart over 6 months, a year, and you'll see these massive up and down moves, and you'll know that something happened. Something came out, maybe an earnings report that was an annual report or a quarterly report. Maybe that was an analyst's upgrade or a downgrade. Who knows? It could have been a departure of an executive, a hiring of an executive. We're just waiting now for the new CEO. This is the next big thing. The CEO of this company. Who's it going to be? Where's this person coming from? Is this person known to the existing management team that's there now? Do they already know personally this person? Have they worked with this person in the past? Is this person a darling of, has this person got, let's say, strong Wall Street connections through a past life? Has this person been with a company in the past where they were with a company that Wall Street adores, and now they're with GameStop? That could change everything right there. That changes everything, because you get a company, you get a management team led by a CEO where Wall Street goes, oh, that we respect that guy. That guy delivers. He was with company so and so, turned him around, or was with that company and took it to the moon. Delivered on execution, runs a tight ship, attracts other top executives, all these kinds of adulations. You get Wall Street getting excited about a CEO that gets hired by this company. All of a sudden, this company is no longer poo-pooed on by Wall Street. Now it's more like, oh, whoa, what happened here? How did they attract this guy? Why would this individual or this guy or girl, why would they move over to this executive suite? There's no way that they attracted this person because they think the stock is going to go up 20% in value in the next year. Nope. There's a whole lot more than that. And that could be a catalyst to shake out a bunch of shorters who are going to go, I want out, and I want out now. I am not interested in betting against this management team. I don't care if the stock's overpriced. I don't care that it's a year or two out for these objectives to be met. This individual and this team around this individual is a whole different threat to shorters, the kind of threat that shorters hate. And they are not going to want to be exposed to unlimited losses on a stock, knowing that this kind of a team is taking over day-to-day management of this company and has full board of directors support with Ryan Cohen. And Ryan Cohen and the gang over there, they can raise billions of more cash for this company if they needed to. Something that Wall Street also doesn't talk about much about GameStop right now. The board of directors of GameStop, in particular, Ryan Cohen himself and his number two guy, the guy they just brought in from his early days, the first funder, the first actual funder of Chewy. That guy made a lot of money as well. And his team that he's with, they have access and they can make a few phone calls and raise a couple of $1 billion like this. They don't need to go to Wall Street. I mean, GameStop does not actually need to go to Wall Street to raise any money at all. They can raise it privately themselves through the new board of directors that are sitting at that board. But you bring in the right kind of CEO that Wall Street goes, that is a good move. This is a smart hire. This is exactly the person should be running this company. We're surprised they got this person. That will shake it up. And there's your first $100 a share in upside. Not in 5 minutes, but maybe in 3 to 5 weeks. There's your first $100 move right there, because that new CEO will start coming out with announcements, with objectives and plans and accomplishments that they're going to be putting together. Look out. And with Ryan Cohen coming out with updates that you should expect, a lot of updates coming from Ryan Cohen. This stock, GameStop, is going to be a very active sharer of information with us. By the way, the Dow is down only 37 points right now. The Dow has come on dramatically. That's a good sign. S&P down 37, NASDAQ down 295. So we've got the big market moving up, the Dow market moving up. 160.27 on GameStop. Let's see what happens. Better days ahead. These are the dog days, kids. We are surviving the last of the dog days. And that's just the way it is. I can't really believe that they think that we are selling just because they say to sell. I mean, yeah, really? You're not shaking out retail investors. It's not going to happen. Not gonna do it. Let's see. Vic, this is just pure buy and sell technology or a mentality. It's 50,000 people putting in buy orders and 10,000 putting in sell orders, and next thing you know, you have a buying imbalance and the stock goes up. It's just the way it is. Harry, what happens to all the shareholders' positions once it's discovered that more shares have been sold than issued? Well, you have a short position, and you have a position where more shares are needed to flatten out than are available, and I think that is going to have to be settled at a higher price. Sooner or later, you have a movement. Hopefully, the media covers the story. Then people start talking big time. There you go. You get the right kind of CEO into a company, the media will cover it. Because the CEO has ways of getting press, no doubt about it. Stock market. So Bruce, do you think at some point people will back off these stocks with very high PE multiples and wait for them to catch up, or will they continue to buy in the future? That all depends. This was the big question that was being asked in 1990, 95, and 2000, and 2005, and 2010, and all the way up to now. Amazon. This has been asked of Amazon for almost 30 years. When is a stock going to come down in the PE multiple? Cisco Systems, same thing. Cisco in the 90s was trading at hundreds of times earnings. Microsoft was trading at way high earnings. Apple was in high earning territory. Google was in high territory. These companies were trading at very high multiples, and they've matured in. But some still trade at high multiples because they have not yet fully realized their maximum, and they're still trading at these high numbers. And one of which is Amazon. Another one is Tesla. Tesla trades at a high PE multiple. It posts record profits every quarter, but it's just trying to grow up to its number, trying to grow up to its stock price. It's got a long ways to go, but these companies are growing. That's something that will happen. I'm wondering about what will be GameStop's PE multiple a year from now. That's what I'm kind of curious about. A year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, as GameStop continues to evolve out into a larger and larger and larger e-commerce company, it gets converted out of, people start calling an e-commerce company rather than a brick and mortar company, and they begin to value it at that level. Then they look at the PE multiple, and will it be equal to the Amazon PE multiple? Will it be double the PE multiple of Amazon, triple, quadruple? It won't be less. It'll be more, because the growth potential of GameStop's net earnings are so much higher, so much faster than Amazon will be, because Amazon is a $1.6 trillion behemoth that you want to double that company. Can't be done in 1 year, but maybe over 5 years, where GameStop can double their earnings every year for 5 years in a row. That's where growth, you pay a premium for growth when you see that kind of, exponential potential in front of you. And so GameStop shares, could go from 160 1 year to 660 the next year to 3,600 the next year to 14,000 the next year. I mean, that's just exponential growth. You tell me the minute it happens, and I'll let you know. Let's see what's going on. Listening but working. Love you, Bagelhead, says Rabbit. Robinhood is trending on Twitter because they put up an error message now that Dogecoin is skyrocketing. Very pitiful. Let's see. Any more comments here? We all love the Colin Afro. It's so versatile. How about that? 160.55 on GameStop right now. We're coming into the last 20 minutes of the day. 3.72 million GameStop shares traded. Very quiet. AMC now 942. A little bit of an uprun right now on 32 million, but still down 29 cents on the day. Microvision holding at 15.75, up $1.89. And Gorse Holdings still holding a gain of 3 cents. IPOE is now down only 19 cents. It's got a late rally coming in right now. Just a little rally. I don't know if it'll be enough, but it's just a little uptick. It's down 18 cents. Let's see. Who else is here? Any more comments? Let's see. Kirk Brunson. Hey, Bruce. Kirk from New York City here. GameStop is giving me sleepless nights. Welcome to the show. 161. You'll sleep better now. 161. We're only down $1.10, $1.20, so we're coming back on again here. It looks like got more IPOE today, says Drew. We're coming on. The Dow now down 49, having a big recovery from one heck of a drop early this morning. Bruce, IBM seems pretty unaffected. Seems unaffected at all. Pretty amusing. There's going to be 4 things that survive a nuclear war: roaches, spam, 1980 Toyota Corollas, and IBM's stock. There you go. 161 on GameStop. IBM is up 81 cents. Home Depot up $1.12. They are the gainers. Over at Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft down 471, Apple down 499. They have not yet had any kind of a real rally. Microsoft just a tad better now, maybe 30 cents better. So it's had its best level now since 11 o'clock this morning, but that's about as good as that's going to get unless there's another dollar in it. Apple is not really hitting better prices yet. It did seem to have its best price since 11:30 this morning, a few minutes ago, but at 127.49, Apple is down 505 right now, and that is what it is doing. It does not seem to have a rally in it at this point. One never knows, though. We still have 18 minutes to go, and a lot can happen in the final 18 minutes of bargain hunting, and that is what we might be witnessing here in the last little while. Bargain hunting going on at the end of the day. Anyway, vaping, stock market. Some traders in Asia are saying Asian brokers are refusing large GameStop stock buys because they can't get the stock. I can't understand that story. That makes no sense to me. The stock is globally available. There's something not right there. Something's wrong with the storyteller. Something's wrong with the stock symbol. I don't understand how that cannot be, because it's all electronic and it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. I don't understand it. Anyway, there you have it. What else is going on? We've got 160.01 again on the stock. Watching it closely as we're coming in now to the last 17 minutes till the end of the day. Okay. I bought 15 of each of the 6-packs I like best. GameStop got boring. Okay. Let's see what else we got up here. It's a whole different ball game, GameStop. Is that shirt you're wearing available to be bought? Yes, it is. You can buy these shirts. You can buy this shirt with this logo on it. You can buy this logo on any color shirt. 17 different shirt colors, from white to black to blue to green to yellow to orange to whatever color you want. Blue. Yeah, all kinds of colors. This shirt, this logo is available on women's tops, V-necks, slouch tops, classic fit, loose fit, you name it. This is available on, you name it. There's got to be, 50 products you can get this logo on, including coffee cups. If you're interested in a coffee cup, head to my RedBubble store. Link is down below. How about that? Buy GameStop and may the 4th be with you. There you have it. Let's see. We need a 10-to-1 hedge split to teach those hedge funds a lesson. How about that? We're at 160.38. We're down to 16 minutes to go. And let's see what's going on. Can you get it in a reddish green shirt? I don't think so, but you can look out RedBubble, see for yourself. Let's see. Yep, 10,000 to 100,000 share buys. That's what we need. Instead of 10,000 share buys, we have 100,000 share buys, and away we go. Where are they getting all the stock to short GameStop with? Again, folks, a lot of stock just turns over. You may have a short seller buying back stock and a short seller selling the short seller the stock they want. So the stock is still short, but it's just a turnover. And that can happen. The buyer and seller don't actually know that that's actually happening. They're just trading stock. One's a buyer, one's a seller, and neither know what the other one is actually sitting on or what their position was. And you get this turnover. This can happen. Let's see. Colin, let me wash a red one for you. I'll probably turn that color. I'll turn it to that color for you. Slouch top, says Marianne. Yeah. Will there be a RedBubble special for Bruce sombreros on Cinco de Mayo? Gotta talk to RedBubble about these hats. Yeah, sombreros. We need Uncle Bruce sombreros. Oh man, ping pong or pong ping. There you go. Like a Frankenshirt. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. We're at 160.21, 160.30, down $1.90 on the day. The Dow now is down 65 points. It's been jumping around in the last hour. Got within 30 something. Pretty good sign, pretty good recovery for the Dow. S&P at down 42, NASDAQ though down 317. That is where it is. Biden is aiming for 70% of all U.S. adults to be vaccinated, at least with one dose by July 4. That is the objective of the administration. Treasury yield, the 10-year Treasury yield slips for a third straight session as equities slide. Bolster bonds. So the yield is dropping on the 10-year. So no interest rate fears, I guess, on the market. I suppose what that means. Well, we'll just see how it goes. 160.13. AMC at 937 has come back up to get to the 940 mark, but now just coming off a little at the end here. 13 minutes to go. See how that works out. Over on Microvision, up 142, still at 15.28, but it was higher. And on the Gores Holdings, up 4 cents. IPOE up down 24 for those shares right now. We're watching those guys as we're coming into the last of the day. Folks, that's what's happening. What can I say? I'd love a sombrero. Let's get a sombrero. I'd sport one with pride. SMH down 3.5%. That's a buy. Right now, 1,300 are watching Biden's speech. 1.4 thousand are watching Bruce. So Bruce is 1/10 as popular as the president of the United States. So that's interesting. Now 1,500 are here. So maybe I'm even more popular than that. How about that? What can I say? Colin, the next time you shave your fro, you need to do locks for love for Bruce. Derek, you're freaking me out, man. You're just freaking me out. Bruce Biden. Okay. Bruce, do you think there'll be a bump on the PFE this next week with the release of the vaccine for kids? I have no idea. That's a scientist question. With the national chlorine shortage now being talked about by the news, do you think chlorine companies would be good to look at? I don't think there's a chlorine company you can make a lot of money on. I think that's temporary. I want a T-shirt when Jen handling the bagel plate to Uncle Bruce showing her hands. Yeah, we have those. Any color you want. You are more popular. Super B. Well, how about that? Dan, no surprise there. Yeah, but Bruce is coherent, unlike Biden. Making fun of the president. Oh my. It's 160.22, down $1.98 right now as we are coming into the last 11 minutes of the day on the markets. That is what's happening. How are we doing here? We have 473 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for that. Keep throwing those thumbs ups out there if you can. Let's get over 500, maybe 600, 700. That would be great. We have 21 thumbs downs. We have 474 thumbs ups. They're really coming on. Thank you, everybody. We're trying to get to a 25-to-1 ratio on the thumbs up, down, some thumbs down ratio. As soon as we hit a little over 500, we'll be there. And we just hit 483 thumbs ups now. Now we're at 500 right there. Boom, just like that. 500 up, 21 down. That's 25-to-1. Now we're at 513, and we're still climbing on the thumbs up Lidl here. 517. That is beautiful. At 600-to-1, it's a 30-to-1 ratio. So keep those thumbs ups coming in, guys. We're at 526, and I love you for that. It's just tremendous. 534. They're just coming. No stopping the thumbs ups. That's awesome. And thank you, Scott Coleman. We will do that. I will send the best to Jen. You betcha, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support, never-ending support of this channel. Fabulous, man. That is beautiful. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Thank you for those of you who joined this channel as members and rejoining this channel again. Love that. Very appreciative of this support. We are at GameStop now, 160.24. We're trying to hit a better level. We did get to that 161 range. I think we touched it for just a bit, 161.13. But we have not been able to get over the high of the day, which is 161.49. We have 10 minutes to go to see if we can move up $1.47 a share and have a new high for the day. But for a while, GameStop did get within 30-40 cents of the high of the day. That was about 15 minutes ago. But right now, 160.24 or so, as the Dow is now down 28 points. The Dow has come on again with another 50-point run just in the last few minutes to yet again take a shot at breaking the negative, getting the negative print off the scoreboard. Very interesting how with 8:53 to go, the Dow is coming on with a bit of a run here to try to break into positive territory. The S&P is down 36 points, and the NASDAQ down 297. Excuse me for just 1 second. I just have to grab the remote for my TV and make sure that my TV is completely up to speed. I want to make sure I'm not looking at a delayed photo here. Here we are. We're back. It took me a while. I'm only 4'8". It takes me a while to walk across the room and get back. You know how that works. Vanek Vectors, SMH, 236 down 392 right on CNBC right now. It's come back, but it is still down from the 252 level last Wednesday to where it is right now. SMH under pressure. But that is a long-term winner in my book. 236 right now is the price, 236.26. The low of the day, 232.80. So it's come up over $3 this morning. It's gained more than half of its loss, I think. So that's pretty good. Technically good. 160.65 on GameStop. Can GameStop hit a high for the day of over 161.49? Can it get to 161? Needs $1 from here. It's 160.49. Can it move up another $1 in the next 8 minutes to have a high trade? Actually have a close on the high of the day. It'll be just under the waterline. It doesn't even have to be positive, but we're going to see if the stock isn't in it. Technically, it looks great. Real nice recovery on GameStop here from the drop early this morning. So we'll see what's going on. Let's see other comments here. If you don't like the channel, hit thumbs down twice, and that'll tell YouTube you really hate the channel. Very, very good. Let's see. Looks like a bullish close to me, says Free Thinker. Yeah, I agree. 29-point down dip on the Dow right now. That's all after being down about 300 points earlier today. This is a nice recovery. I think there's bargain hunting coming on. And if it closes the way it's closing, there could be an upsurge first thing in the morning. There'll be a whole bunch of buy orders looking for deals. But my experience tells me that when a market comes up like this during the day, you do your bargain hunting in the last hour of the day. You don't wait till the next morning on the opening because it's over. You might miss the first 100 points right off the bat. The Dow might just start 120 points on the upside and be up 200 points in the first hour, and you've missed the run up. Where here you get to take advantage of it towards the night as the evening comes on. But it's hard to buy in a down day. It's difficult, and that's why those who have cast iron stomachs can make it in this business sometimes if you're that kind of a day trader. Do you think there's going to be a change in GameStop price when Fidelity finally releases proxy vote materials this week? Or do we need to wait until they're counted? Boy, Emmeline, I have no idea. I don't know what effect that will have at all. I honestly don't know if they'll have any good or bad effect in any way, shape, or form. I can't see. I can't tell you. We'll have to see what happens. Wish I knew, but yeah, I don't know. Where's the new chair? We don't have one. I went out shopping for a chair. I mean, let's put it this way. I would have bought a new chair on Saturday. I went to our local downtown office supply place. We have one here. And they had about 6 office chairs sitting there, and none of them were what I wanted. And what they had, oh my gosh, the prices they wanted for office chairs, it was just insanity. I'm looking at chairs that I was thinking they were $69.99, $99.99. They're asking $400 for garbage. Yeah, not impressed. And so I thought, no. I have to sit on this thing for 5 hours a day just to do this show. Then I have to sit on this chair Mondays for my sponsor member show on Traveling with Bruce, and the other show, my big cruise ship show. That's 2.5 extra hours a week, and then I have my Friday trivia show with my sponsor members on Traveling with Bruce. I mean, I'm on this chair for hours and hours and hours a week, 27, 28 hours a week. There's no way I'm going to sit on a vinyl office chair. It's not going to happen. And I'm just going to sweat my what off, because summer's coming. And it's going to get warm, and I'm just going to die on that thing. No. I need also the adjustable everything, and I need the armrest stuff. And so anyway, nothing in person, unfortunately. Now, I looked at GameStop. I went to GameStop to see if I could find a chair. Here's the problem with GameStop. They have chairs, but for Americans only in the USA. They don't have Canadian merchandise up here that I can buy. I cannot buy through EB Games Canada a gamer chair. They don't offer chairs online, so I have to go elsewhere for that. So that leads me now to certain other retailers, and so we're still looking it up. We're still trying to figure it out, and we will figure it out. There's another possibility, and we're not sure yet exactly what and how, but what do we got now? 4 minutes to go. There's a possibility that we might be. The Dow is down 17 points, by the way. There's another possibility that we might be in Calgary in the not too distant future for a visit to our daughter, where I might be doing shows from my daughter's place. You never know. In any event, then I can shop in person there, bring one home. We'll see. Down 6.2 points, down 3.5 points on the Dow. The Dow is about to go positive if it can swing it with 2.5 minutes to go. The Dow is putting on a rush. We're down 1.9 points on the Dow right now. The Dow is about to swing to a positive level, and we're watching this to see if it can pull this thing off. This is a huge surge in buying coming in at the end of the day here. It's going to be interesting. Will the Dow have a positive close, or will it be just below the flat line? But the recovery alone has been spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So we're going to see what's going on here, all right? When is this new chair coming? I'm confused. That's not a Herman Miller chair. I'll let you know. Let's see. Herman Miller, you can write it off as an expense, And that Office Depot one, you can't write that off. Come on, GameStop, let's go. 160.43, the Dow down 10 points, and we're down to a couple of minutes now in the day. The last 2 minutes, but the Dow is climbing. Advancing volume 1.4 billion today, declining volume 2.4 billion today. It's actually a light day on the Dow. If we don't do 6+ billion, 10 billion, we're not trading a lot of stock. 160.38 on GameStop. The Dow down 2.5, was up 2.5 points just a second ago, was actually green 2.5 points as we're coming to the last 1 minute and 33 seconds. NASDAQ has 137 new highs and 110 new lows on a negative day. Go figure. NASDAQ down 269 because of Apple and Microsoft and Tesla. They're in the green, in the red. That's in the red. Marcus, thank you for this. I bought into IPO about 2 weeks ago. Do you still think it's a good buy? Oh, yes, I do. I know you were mentioning the merger deal with the bank. It's a very good buy. It's a very, 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 very good buy. Yes, it is. IPOE down only 20 cents now, 16.17. The Dow up 9.2. The Dow has gone green. Oh, my gosh. GameStop 160.37. 54 seconds left in the day. The Dow has turned green. Will it run higher? Up 15 points. Someone's saying it's up 20. Look at that. The Dow has gone green at the very end of the day. GameStop 160.42, 160.32. About $1 off the high of the day for GameStop, down $1.97. It's not a bad day considering the way we were going this morning. We have come back, but the Dow, unfortunately, the NASDAQ down 266. The Dow up 1974. Dow now up 11.28 as it's closing in here. Will it hold the green The bell is ringing. We'll have to wait for final adjustments. There it goes into the red again. But there was definitely a computer buy program that kicked in big time towards the end of the day on the Dow, and that eliminated a 300-plus point loss on the day at one point today. GameStop, 160.87, final trade, 160.87, down $1.33, and it was only about 70 cents away from its high of the day. After all that, it was as low as 150.186, and it came back all the way back today. That's a sign that maybe there was a bit oversold, and bargain hunters picked it up all afternoon. 3.94 million on GameStop. Final close 160.87 is what I'm showing right now. And the Dow showing a 27-point gain as the final technicals go through. Very good on the Dow. Interesting. S&P down 27, NASDAQ down 261. And that's a most interesting turnabout on the stock. As far as IBM, up 142, Home Depot up 296. Microsoft down 407 and Apple down 469. So they were less than $5 down, but not much better than that. Tesla down $11. It came on at the end of the day. Tesla was as low as 657, closed at 673. So $16 gain from the low of the day on Tesla to lose only $11. Very interesting turnaround there. Might be a good opening tomorrow morning. We'll see how the follow through happens tomorrow when we go on from there. There you have it. That's it. 160.87 on GameStop. Yeah, not the worst. Lose $1.33. I can live with that. If you want to slouch around and give me the dog days like this, then give me these dog days, because I know that once we get the news we're looking for and the news we're hoping to get, we could be in for quite a run here. It is poised and it is oversold. My hunch is it is oversold. May the force be with you. May the GameStop be with you. Bears. Let's see. What else we got here? Up 22 points, right? It looks like you were right about Coinbase. Seems more obvious it's going to go to sub 200 in the near future. How bad is it now? Coinbase, 280, down $13. Man, oh man. One of the most overhyped stocks of an IPO, or as a direct listing, actually. It was a direct listing. Overhyped, and investors were allowed in the front door at 389. It ran up to 419 or 429, 439, something like that on the first day. And now here it is under $300. And retail investors are getting crushed on Coinbase. Crushed. And that's okay. That's all good business on Wall Street. You don't need a congressional investigation for that. You don't have to call Congress in to find out what happened. This is all normal business. All this is fine. Retail investors are allowed to buy $439 on the first day. It's all okay. The fact that it's 284, that's okay. There's nothing to investigate here. Nothing to see. We're not even going to mention it. It's all fine. But that GameStop, we're going to investigate that until the cows come home. We're going to look into that GameStop story. We're going to dig up what the heck is really going on there, because there's a whole bunch of retail investors who have the gall to try to make some money on GameStop. We're going to put a stop to that. We're going to find the congressional people who are going to step up to these small retail hooligans. And, these are terrorists. That's what they are. They're just terrorists. We're going to put a stop to those small retail investors. We're going to fix them, but good. But why don't you just buy Coinbase instead? Unbelievable. Oh, my God. We only lost $1 today. That's a win. You see, Steve, there you go. Volume for literal ants. How about that? What can I say? Bruce needs a real market maker to see final official close on GameStop. CNBC is garbage. It's garbage. 2026, I'm showing for the Dow on a gain here. What can I say? What can I say? Is Apple a good buy at this price? Or wait, Apple's always a good buy. As long as you're waiting long enough, it's a good buy. Because whether you're waiting 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, the longer you have, the happier you're going to be with Apple. It's kind of a better buy today than yesterday, I'll tell you that. How about that? Let's see. Yes, I'm happy. I'm still having money in my GameStop account. It didn't go to zero. What, Bruce? What style glasses are you wearing? Are they plastic or metal frames, spring loaded or stiff hinges, bifocal or not? these these glasses are crap. These are from Costco. These are readers. These are just reader glasses, the magnifiers. That's all they are. I don't know. They're probably a metal type frame, I suppose. They don't have a spring on them. I have to bend the thing here to get it to hold the side of my head because it's like a one size fits all, kids. They're just El Cheapos. These cost me like $6. You get 3 for $18 at Costco, so like $6 a pop or $7 a pop. I mean, that's all I got. Nothing fancy here. Oh man, I can't explain this. I can't give you an answer for this. Zillows, why is GameStop borrow rate 1% when AMC and MVIS are 11 and 14? I can't. It makes no sense. I can't explain it. I don't know. There you go. There's your answer from this guy. There might be someone on there might be someone on Reddit doing due diligence about it that I can't help you. It's not in my forte about this sort of stuff. Anyway, I bought Apple at $700 a share in 2013, and they all thought I was nuts. Can you say split multiple times? Yeah, you done well, Wally. You done okay. Oh, pardon me. Yet again. Oh my gosh. What can I say? Apple is like free money. It has an annual return of like 30 to 70% for the last 10 plus years if you scale back the chart. Those reader glasses are longer than Bruce's legs. I'll tell you, bless me. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. And thank you. Let's see. 3 lines for tomorrow's beverage game. Zillows, someone talked to Interactive Brokers over the phone. They basically explained that it's 1% because they want to make it competitive to borrow, but there are legit 0 shares available. Okay. Bless you again and again and again and again. Thank you, everybody. Salud. Thank you, Raptor. Bless you. Why is my SMH tanking during a shortage? I keep mentioning that. I keep mentioning that people should buy that ETF because there is a shortage of computer chips and you might do really well with it. I do kind of mention that often. I do what I can. We have 659 thumbs ups. Thank you for those of you who are giving this channel thumbs ups. You guys are a blessing. I can't thank you enough. It is so important for channels like mine. We are a tiny channel. We might have we have over 100,000 viewers, but we're not that big a channel. We are puny, and we need thumbs ups to be noticed and found. And if you can help me out there, all of you, please help me out. Even if you're watching on the rerun, please hit the thumbs up button on the rerun. And if you got nothing better to do, you can do me a big favor. Go to my channel, look up my videos, click on each video, and make sure to give every video you haven't watched a thumbs up, even though you haven't watched it. And find 20, 30 of my videos and give me thumbs ups for every one of them. Help the channel out because thumbs ups, anytime they come in, add momentum to the channel as far as the artificial intelligence computers are concerned at YouTube. And I appreciate it. I thank you. 724, 727 thumbs ups. They're coming in, and I do appreciate it. There's 1,400 of you here. We should be at 1,000 by now. 31 on the downside, 727 on the upside. We're trying to keep above the 20-25 to 1 ratio if that's possible. And at 750, at least, we're, kind of like 25 to 1. 743, keep it coming. If we can get to 1,000 thumbs ups, that's a 30 to 1 ratio. That would help too. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful job, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful job. Let's see here. Kazoo tight. Okay. Let's see. And what else is going to Gesundheit? There you are. I don't know what this question means. What are your thoughts about having a Robo visor for a Roth IRA? I don't know what a Robo visor is. Sitting Bull, we have an America's Best here and 2 for 75. But you add features more like 2 for 300. Good to get an eye exam every couple of years. Many eye issues constantly can be managed. Okay. It blew up like Uncle Bruce's sneeze. Okay. Yeah. I think there's other messages going on that I'm missing out on. I'm missing stuff here. What can I tell you? Yep. Me and my thumbs up, your 3 thumbs are yours. Thumbs ups are a way to smash your face into the keyboard over and over until Uncle Bruce gets thumbs ups to the moon. Hey, Bruce, Enrique. Hey, how you doing, Enrique? Just woke up from the Power Hour Friday. Did I miss anything? No, you're just in time. Friday's around the corner. Get ready for this coming Friday. Oh my God, gosh, Gamers Residence, I bet you're handy. Come on, Uncle Bruce. Give Uncle Bruce some thumbs ups. I need blue light glasses from staring at Bruce all day. Either my eyes are getting blurry or Bruce is getting better looking. I think your eyes are getting blurry. I hit the thumbs up 3 times. Let's see here. I like this guy. Holland Dangerous, I get around. Laugh out loud, sorry. A robo-advisor. What do you think about having one for a Roth IRA? What is a robo-advisor? What is that? I don't know what that means. Is it some kind of a artificial intelligence thing for your stock portfolio or something? Are you really going to put your faith in something like that? I don't know. The world is changing, isn't it? Stock markets with Bruce, a robo-advisor, basically that's a computer auto-manage your stock portfolio. Buying and selling, adjusting the mix. Oh my God, I don't know. AB, how long does an ETF like SMH last? Was there ever a point where the Vanix is like, oh, we're not doing this anymore, here's your money? No. It's like mutual funds. They're still here 50 years later. Sometimes they merge them into other funds, but they're still here. No, they don't go away. John Van, 161 on that stock. GameStop, 161. Thumbs up. I'm giving all she's got, sir. Melkin, anti-PC. I don't have a robot advisor, but I have a professional advisor managing my 401k. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I know exactly what that means, but I'm not going to tell you. Wally, my 2 shares of Apple stock at 700 blew up like your sneeze. Michael, that sounds terrifying, robo-advisor. Bruce, is there a CEO you have in mind that would turn things around big time for GameStop? Nope, I don't have anyone in mind. The robo-advisor, I just used a dartboard. That was easy. John, 160, 150. Yeah, 160, 82 now. Jumping back and forth. Tony, loving it. We've got not a lot of activity going on. And here we go. The reason I'm bringing it up on this, SMH is semiconductors going to be around forever. Why not invest in them forever? There you go. We went from tubes to transistors and now to chips, and here we are. These are so sophisticated. 161.77 going higher now. 161.77 on GameStop. Very good. The semiconductor thing, I don't know what replaces them. I'm not sure what's next, but for a while, that's where we're going to be. I think you're right. Dartboard and Magic 8 Ball. Capital gains aren't due unless you aren't paid. You don't have to pay capital gain unless you sell. I believe that is correct. Skynet manages my 401k. Hey, John. Red Ginger Snaps. A robo-advisor might well be smarter than me, but it would still make me mighty nervous. That's just me. Howdy, Tony. I still, what are we saying here? I still have a robo vacuum, and I'm not impressed enough to let its cousin handle my money. Semiconductors are going to be around long after we colonize planets. Schwab has robo-advisors. You put up at least $5,000 in your IRA. It's free instead of paying an advisor. Yeah, no kidding. What do we got here? Danger, high C. I don't know what that means. Bruce, what is this emoji? Sorry, my eyes can't see it. It's a zit. So when the stock goes straight up, it's zit. When it goes straight down, it goes zit. That's all that means. We're trying to figure out how to produce this between my editor and myself. How do we make a zit emoji that gives you the impression that it's a zit emoji? And so we were playing with all kinds of versions. We might keep this one. We might change it. I don't know. I can get behind a professional asset manager running my 401k, but a robot, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Michael, my robot vacuum dies in the living room too often. Oh no! Laugh out loud, Red Ginger Snap. What's up? Since it's slow, any thoughts on Jurassic Park 3? No thoughts. Red Ginger Snap, howdy. Angle, hope you are well. Red Ginger Snap says, cheers, everybody. How you doing, Red Ginger Snaps? Welcome to the show today. Sharon Granville, does anything last forever anymore? Exactly. Colin, robo-advisor is like a RoboCop, but with less than 600,000 SUX or pistols mounted in the hip, but an equal amount of boardroom massacres. Oh my gosh. Vic C, Uncle Bruce, you passed my last comment during your years in the market. How long did you hold? 1 year, 18 months? What did you consider good return? 1.5, 2 times? Each stock has its own timing and return, risk rewards. Sometimes economies change. Sometimes circumstances change. There were years where I'd be long. 162, by the way, 162 on GameStop. There were years where I would be long stock in the oil patch, and in a month, things would change in the oil patch that weren't good. Maybe overseas events would take place where there would be a glut of oil, or a lack of demand, or a recession would kick in, and all of a sudden, my investors and I would change our ideas about being long stock, and we would not want to be an energy stock, and so we'd been holding it for a while, and we had our favorites, and we immediately shifted out of junior explorers. We shifted out of medium exploration companies. Maybe we retained some of the larger companies with downstream operations, like refineries and gas stations, like Imperial Oil, Esso, Gulf, and others. But there were times where we would just wholesale get out and move on. Sometimes an interest rate spike could cause something to not work out. Sometimes just a shift in commodity prices might shift certain sectors around. Other times, there would be we would notice that the housing market is really picking up, or semiconductors, or software companies. We shift into those. I mean, we'd have our game plan, we'd have our our objectives, but the bottom line is that once a stock did or did not, it did perform or did not perform, but now could not perform going forward. In our opinion, we'd have to make switches, and so that's how it goes. Doing well here in Texas, thank you. Love the name change. Robot vacuum, not remote cat cart. Tony, I saw DFV doing a video of picking stocks on instinct using a magic 8-ball and Uno deck. Priceless. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody. May the 4th be with you. Anna B, that is the way. Thanks, John, man. Matches most of my social media. What else have we got going here? Hang on. Let's see. Thank you, everybody. What's going on with GameStop after hours? I don't know. It's 161.45 now. Had a little jump, and now it's back here again. Maybe there's rumors flying around. Rumors of perhaps of a new CEO. I don't know. We're waiting. We're watching. Bruce, just pay Bruce $400 for a weekend session instead of using a robo advisor. There you go. You can always do that. Orlando Butta may it all be with us. Tony, you betcha, and maybe a bit of due diligence or whatever. We're at 160.43 again, jumping around on the stock. You tell me what's going on. Fur prevention insurance. Any news on GameStop? It's up in the after hours. No news. 162. We liked it. It was there for a bit, but not there now, unfortunately. Let's see. You have a good one there, Sharon. Thanks for popping in today. Sorry, got in here late today. Welcome, Ashley. 162.06 again. You want to tell me what's going on? I have no idea. 161.50. Something happening? I don't know. There's 7,400 traded. There's no volume, so there's nothing big going on there. GameStop is actually flat at 161.50 right now, quite a while now. I started enjoying now my second bagel and started to calm down, have a nice evening, good night, and watch out, dodge. Above 60 cents are good selling opportunities. Johnny hates jazz too. Sounds great. Priceless. Tony, good doges. Red snap. Okay, my best friend lives in Spring. I'm up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for now. Let's see. Zit, is it like weird? I like making that noise. It's now bullish afternoon so far. Green, we're green. 160 right now. Read an article today with analysis rating GameStop from under $30 to sell to over $200 to hold. How about that? Isn't that just an absurd range or typical? It's absurd. It is just absurd. What can I say? Crazy. A Robo Advisors builds a diversified portfolio of funds, usually selected by a team of investment professionals. A sea of mediocrity. Yeah. Experts regularly monitor market activity in every underlying investment to ensure your portfolio is rebalanced appropriately by a sophisticated algorithm. Sea of mediocrity. 160, 160 on the stock. The Woodlands are also spring, just to fancy your blame. Oh, okay. We need a Donald Duck emoji. Let's see here. Made a change after hours going green. 162.45. That is right. Should be 420.69. I agree. Auntie, I could see that for 401k, but IRA, not my personal account. That's me though. Absurd is my middle name. Tourette's, Bruce. Tourette's. Colin, now I can just come in and see what color the fro is. No longer do I need to check share price. That's the way. 162.03. With the 7,800 traded, and there's nothing trading, kids. There's nothing to get excited about here. We need volume. You give me a million shares in the first hour in the aftermarket, something's going on. But without that, there's nothing going on. No. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. 162.45 up $1.72. Not getting a lot of activity here. And I can't get the volume to refresh automatically. Just taking a look here. Yeah, 7,800. So I'm not getting any new updates volume wise. Okay. Anyway, there it is. Kind of curious about one thing over here. Just let me check this out. Yeah, I'm looking up Zillow Group. The symbol is Z. 126 in the aftermarket, up 455. They were really beating up this stock in the last little while. They were over $200 a share just briefly a while ago, and here we are now at 126. Low for the year now, $43, high of 208, now 126.50. Zillow apparently has smashed forecasts as housing market strengthens. That would make sense. That Zillow would be gaining with the housing market. But I am surprised at how low the stock is, considering how well the housing market has been doing the last several months. To see this stock only at this level is quite surprising. Anyway, that's interesting. Activision Blizzard stock rises as a result top the Street View. So that's a good sign. Match tops earnings expectations as pandemic restrictions ease. Good to see companies are posting better earnings these days. 161.93 on 8,000 shares of GameStop. Right now up $1.20. Not much to get all that excited about at the moment. There you have it. That's what we've got going here. What else is going on? Comments coming through. Thank you, everybody. Something's up. I don't know what it is, but I like it. I'm sure none of this compares to Uncle Bruce, though. Let's see. Here we go. William's saying, I'm going to sell off my old Xbox console games controllers to GameStop so I can turn around and buy more GameStop. Okay. Someone needs to do diligence about a market movement and bagel toppings. Someone get me a bagel chart right now. Okay. Got to get Jam. Beautiful Ape fan. Bruce, in your opinion, what is the classiest city in Florida and why is it Jacksonville? In your opinion, Bruce, why would you say that? Webull supports full extended hours. This is good. Who's next? Precursor on Zillow. It would be cool to see some kind of partnership between Zillow and Matterport. Wouldn't surprise me if it's happening. Wouldn't be surprised if it's an early announcement too. You never know. We'll see. Wait, Florida has classy cities? Really? Classy city in Florida? That's interesting. Okay. Well, at least I have my answers to what Bruce thinks about Robo Advisors. Well, there you go. Okay. Banks are filling forms SEC 42 Ford B2 in mass right now. Why? I don't know. Jay Ray has made it. Welcome, Jay Ray, to the house. You're here. Thank you for coming in. 161.92 on GameStop, up $1.19, but only 8,200 traded today on the aftermarket. That's it. That's all she wrote. The classic city is Boise. They've got potatoes and Micron, and that's good enough for me, I guess. There you go. Florida is the only state where the further north you go, the more southern it gets. Well, yeah, that's kind of right. And Florida, I thought it was some retirement communities and theme parks. Yeah. I spent a month in Jacksonville for work last June. The empty beaches were epic, nice, really nice. And Bruce, whatever you do, don't look up red ginger snaps on Google. Just saying. Gasp. Okay. Fair enough. I'm good with that. Right. Florida is God's waiting room. That's what it is. It's God's waiting room. What can I say? Perfectly healthy 65-year-olds go down to Florida. 30 years later, they're dead. It's unbelievable. Florida is a state that just kills people. It just kills them off. It's unbelievable. They are healthy as can be when they're 65. Head down there. A few decades later, they're not there anymore. It's unreal. It's a one-way ticket. I don't know, man. I don't know. What can I say? Let's see. Northern Florida is like South Alabama. Let's see. That's where I plan to go in the next few years, is Florida. Okay. And my next Florida work trip is West Palm Beach. Healthiest as can be at 65. Where's Florida? Where's this Florida you speak of? Come on down. The water's fine, a little radioactive, but it's warm. It's because they recycle them, Bruce. Okay. How do we end up in Florida? We threw a dart at the map and it landed in the trash. 162.18 last trade apparently on GameStop. Tony, I've already found my house in Marco Island. Now just need this to the moon and then I can pick up my house. Uncle Bruce, I think you should speak to Austin Tobit. He is working his bagel off, connecting the dots here, and he might be willing to do a guest interview. Good for apes. I'm not 65 though. I'll have another decade to go before I qualify. Let's see. Julius, Miami is that dangly bit on the right side of the U.S. Florida, the stopping off point before going over to the Bahamas. Let's see here. Let's go 162.18 right now. North of Cuba, maybe? Yeah. 162.18, 161.75. Florida jokes are old. Even Bugs Bunny saw it's off the mainland in the cartoon from the 40s. There we go. Hang on. There we go. Okay. I agree, Bruce. You should speak to Austin Tobit. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who Austin is. What does he have, a YouTube channel or something, or what's this guy do? I don't know who this is. Miami is one of the hottest cities in America right now. Hot isn't popular. Lots of people moving there, lots of business, lots of money. That's the one, says Colin. Jane, I am not expecting any money back. Also, I think you should speak to Austin Tobit. Thank you. I don't know who that is. Secretly, found that I can manipulate stock market. Whatever I buy, it goes red. I can manipulate them down. Austin is the man, says Tony. Free thinker Mick Jones? No. On a clear day, you can depart Fort Lauderdale Executive and see the Bahamas around 3,500 feet. When you're up high enough, there they are. Yeah, how about that? 161.88. Bruce, you should turn the tables on the youngsters that want to interview you with gotcha questions and drill them like it's a job interview about their investing techniques. Oh, gosh. Andy, I want to move to Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach area. Pensacola gets high ratings for quality of life, quality of living. Colin, Vic, see, I too have that superpower. I can buy stock and I can make it go down. I can make stock go down the minute I buy it. Ashley, he's from Sewer Stonks. He's the one who posted all the due diligence about the everything short and fails to deliver, the House of Cards, etc., says Ashley. John Van 16220. We're going up. Bruce, not sure if someone asked you, but did you have to do the sell this pen bit in a job interview? No, I've never had that game played on me in a job interview. No. I remember one interview where I was being interviewed for my first ever stockbroker job, and I tried to get hired by stockbrokerage firms for like 6 months, and nobody would touch me, and I just couldn't get a break. And I finally got to the last interview I had before I got hired, which didn't know at the time it was my last one, but the last interview that I had before I got hired by a brokerage firm was where I came in to the office and came to the reception desk and told the young lady there that I was there for an interview. Gave her my name, and she said, "Just one minute." And she came back and told me to your interview will start in about 5-10 minutes. In the meantime, would you mind filling out this aptitude test? It's like one of these, aptitude tests. And I had been sick and tired of these. I had been to 7 or 8 different interviews already, and I had to do one of these. I had to do one of these at about 4 different places, and my attitude on that was, any firm that asks a candidate to do an aptitude test is not worth working for. And I had one firm that I had an interview with where I did the aptitude test, and we had to put the results in a folder, and then it had to go to Toronto for analyzation. And I had a chat with the branch manager, and he and I hit it off, and we were firing on all levels. And he was impressed that I had already done the securities course and I had passed it already, and all I needed was a firm to hire me on, and I could apply for my securities license and start going after clientele and doing whatever training programs you guys had in house. Away we go. And he was ready. He wanted to hire me. He said, "Just got to wait for the aptitude tests, and I'll know next week. We'll be good to go." Great. Week later, he phones me up. He says, "Bruce, got the results of that test back, and you flunked the aptitude test. It just says you're not made out. You're just not made to be. You're not designed to be in the brokerage business. You just haven't got it." And I just thought, well, I got to tell you, that is the motivation that I need, that tells me I do have what it takes, because I will be in the business. He says, "Bruce, I'm convinced you will be, because I've met you in person. These aptitude tests don't meet you in person. They don't see the personality. They don't see the drive. They don't see your eyes. They don't see your want. But you'll make it, and someday we'll meet again." I said, "You betcha." So anyway, I get to this last interview, my last ever interview for a job, at least for that kind of job. Anyway, and I have to fill in this aptitude test. 10 questions. It's just 10 questions. And it's not even one of these fancy dancy aptitude tests that are made by a university or something like that. This is just a 10 thing questionnaire. And the first question was, name 3 reasons why you want to become a stockbroker. And I was so upset. I was just so PO'd that I have to do another one of these damn things, because these are my nemesis. This is my nemesis. I can win the personal presentation, but I can't win the aptitude test. It just drove me nuts. So I thought, the hell with you sons of bitches. And I wrote down money, money, money. Then the next question was, how much money do you think you'll earn in your first year as a stockbroker? And I wrote down, ask me in 11 months. I was obnoxious. It was just pure spite. All 10 questions I answered the same way. And I handed them back to the gal. And she said, "Oh, no, you take that with you into the interview." And I thought, oh, great. I was thinking that I gave it to her, and then it would go to some office somewhere for a review, and that would be the end of that, because I figured this interview wasn't going anywhere. No, I had to bring it with me and give it to the guy that I was going to he was going to look at the answers, the guy in the meeting. So go into the office and, "Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, did you fill out that questionnaire?" "Yeah, I got it right here." I hand him the clipboard with the questions on it. And he's sitting there and he's reading the first one. He reads the first answer and he's smiling. He reads the second one, he starts chuckling, he puts it down. He says, "When can you start?" Yeah, it was automatic. He says, you got to take the securities course. I said, no, I don't. I've already passed the securities course. You did? I said, oh, I've already got the securities course. I've passed it. I've already got my clearance. I just need a firm to take me on. He says, when can you start? And so I told him I would start about 3 weeks later. I would start, and that's how I got my first job. And I tell you, I've never had an aptitude test like that before. All these other aptitude tests I had were these computer kind of forms, and you take a pencil and you have to color in a box. The 4 boxes, 5 boxes. You have to fill in the box, and then that would go into a computer, and the computer would spit out the probability of success of this person. I thought, if there are firms out there that are hiring those kinds of people, I don't want any part of you guys. I don't want to be in your business. I don't want to be part of your organization. But this guy, he read this and he just laughed and he said, oh, I love this. So he knew he had a firecracker in front of him. So we just talked stock. We just talked about the market and talked about what they are doing and what was going on. And I got the job, and that's how it worked. Unbelievable. Sell this pen. That was how I sold the pen. That's how I sold the pen. Anyway, Super Stonks is on the YouTube channel. Let's see. I'm watching from the Gulf Shores in Alabama. Right on. Welcome all. 162.51 on GameStop. Go. It's 13,800 volume. Well played, Bruce. Depends on Bruce. Yep. My parents made me take IQ tests so they could yell at me for not giving a damn about school. Bruce had the it factor. Oh my gosh. I had sold guitars, basses and guitars and drum sets to hippies with 2-foot long hair. And I'd sold guitars to bikers, and I'd sold guitars to lawyers, and I had dealt with hairdressers, and I had dealt with cops. I mean, my dad's music store, we had everybody come in there. Every walk of life. I could handle anybody and sell them anything in that music store. Don't tell me I can't talk to a customer about the stock market. If it interests me, I can talk to you about it. If it doesn't interest me, I don't care. And I was fed up. I was so upset by that point. I was so disappointed in the brokerage business at that point. I hadn't even been in it, and I was already disappointed. And I thought, man, as soon as I get in the door of any one of these firms, I am going to kick ass, because these guys that are in this business are morons. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They haven't got anything like I've got. They're all educated with university degrees. Yeah, they were drinking on weekends at the frat house, and they sobered up enough to get past their finals. I tell you, I had the street smarts, and I was ready to go. And it showed. I'll tell you, that office that I joined, within 3 months, I had figured out everybody in that office. I think I'd done it in 3 weeks. I'd figured out who's who in the zoo around here, who's a mover and a shaker, who's a BS artist, which of the management in here knows what they're talking about, which one is in here that is constantly on stimulants. I knew who the survivors were going to be, and the movers and the shakers. And 162.90, by the way, on GameStop. And I was not going to be pushed around, because now I knew where I was, and I knew what I was capable of. And I was a successful broker in that firm, and they were sad to see me go. When I left that house after a year and a half, I became a partner in a brokerage firm. So now I was a part owner of a brokerage house, rather than an employee rather than a guy who couldn't get hired by anybody. I was a part owner of a brokerage house. And I knew from then on I would never be unemployed in this business, because with that on my resume, any other broker would pick me up. And then I learned every part of the brokerage business, the front end, the back end. I learned the salesman side, the management side, the clearing side, the operational side, the banking side. I learned everything about the brokerage business, being a partner of a brokerage firm. And I did that for about 2.5 years. And then became a branch manager, eventually VP of a bigger house. And I'll tell you, I was 26, 27. I was a manager, and I was unemployable. I couldn't get a job at age 21, but 26, I was managing 25 brokers. I tell you, just let me in the door, get out of the way. Geez, just give me a phone, give me a desk, and shut up. Let me get to work. Gosh, unbelievable. What can I say? What can I tell you? All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody, hanging out with me today. We're at 162.45. And what can I say? I've got some beachfront property in Arizona for you. Stimulants, haha. Yeah. Bruce, on YouTube, search for Dr. Suzanne Trembath, Super Stonk Live. Oh, my gosh. What a title. Was written multiple books on naked shorting and FTDs. I love stimulants. I don't like Coke. I just really like the smell. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, Bruce, that's awesome. You sold guitars. I've been playing most of my life. Oh man, I had to deal with everybody in my dad's music store. I had to learn to read them up. I had to size up people in seconds in the music store. Absolutely size them up in seconds. And it just came naturally to me. But I just imitated my father. I just watched my dad. I watched the managers my dad had. My dad had guys that were pretty good with people, really good people, like people handlers, and it was really neat to watch my father work with any kind of customer coming through the front door. It was unbelievable how he could handle any kind of personality. It was amazing. He would have been a great YouTuber. He would have been something else in his prime as a YouTuber. Oh my gosh, he'd be more successful than I would be. Unbelievable. Talk about getting advice about advice in life. Oh my gosh, what a guy. But no computers. He had his own computer. He got his first computer in about 1990. Oh gosh, 1990, 91. I think he got his first computer. And by 93 or 94, he was writing code. He was actually writing code for his own computer because he just found it fascinating. He had books on how to write software. The guy could have been a software programmer. He had the mathematical brain for that, the bookkeeper's brain, the mathematics brain. I'm more of my mom. I'm a little more of a. I can feel the deal, and then I can close the deal. Where he had the analytics, which I have some of, but yeah, he loved computers. He passed away in 2000 though, so he reached a certain level of the computer life. Had he lived another 10 years to now, well, not to now, to 2010, he would have been really into the internet big time. He would have really been into the internet. Into 2010, but he just got a taste of it, just a little of this, a little of that. But yeah, he was not left behind with the revolution and the evolution of home-based computing. He was into it. He was really into it and loved it. But yeah, what a guy. Certainly a man of his time. Let's see here. Comments. You thought outside the bagel even then. Oh man, you had to. If you're going to work in a music store and survive, you had to hustle, baby. You had to hustle. There were 10 music stores in our town, in our city of 150,000. There were 10 other shops. We had to get the business. I had to outservice everybody else. Absolutely. Now that's how you ace an interview right there. That's right. The ultimate salesman. I have some ocean front for you. Yeah. Thank you everybody for being here. Right, you got to write your own book, man. I don't have time to write. I'm just so busy. What can I say? Let's see. One time a high school gave us an anonymous survey, which is substances do you use regularly? A fuse wise as kids, checkbox, all the hard illegal drugs, not the cigarettes. Oh man, unbelievable. Life and times of Uncle Bruce the Love Machine. I was put through the ringer, the stupid test too. Test could predict that I was not a team player. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what would he eat, bagel? Bruce, it's Bad Joke Tuesdays. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the old man, he was pretty sharp. Yeah. He had seen it all, man. He had seen it all. I bought my first Les Paul, Black Beauty at Sam Goody in the Short Hills Mall in 82. My first Stratocaster at Manny's Music, New York City. We always had a Stratocaster in the store. We always had a Telecaster. We had a Les Paul. We almost always had a Martin D18, an acoustic Martin guitar, and no one was allowed to play it. I was allowed to tune it and dust it, but not allowed to play it. Because not a scratch could be on that on that pickguard. That guitar had to be in mint condition. But when a used Martin came in, when we traded in for a used Martin, I could play a used Martin from time to time. That was kind of a treat. The book would be bagel bound. Let's see. I was late. Did you already discuss the hard to buy on GameStop? I don't know. I just saw the GameStop now as HTB and wonder if that's a good thing. I don't know what this means. Jesse, help me out. Tell me what you're talking about. You can hire some excellent talent on Fiverr to help you write a book. It's easy. I think it would sell. Gotta run. Thanks, Colin. Bruce, sounds like you won the parent lottery. We did all right. We did quite okay. I did okay. My sisters might not concur with me, but it worked out all right for me. Read the same. I read the same. I don't know what you're talking about. You have a favorite song to play? Not really. Bought my first Martin. Just bought my first Martin. Right on. Handmade guitars. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I learned by age 11 what the guitars were. I knew the brands. I knew the Fenders, the Gibsons. I knew all the Jazzmaster bass, and of course the Fender amplifiers, Trainer amps, Vox amplifiers, Ludwig drums, Rogers drums. Yeah, I knew the stuff. Let's see. I have a custom Guild D25 for an acoustic. We knew about the amplifiers, the drums. We had to know the strings. I had to know all the different gauges of strings. I had to be able to restring a guitar. How many times did I sell a set of strings and restring a guitar on the spot or within a half an hour? Let the customer go for a coffee, come back, it'll be done. How many times did I do that? And polished up guitars at the same time. And I had guitar players come into my store. They wouldn't let anyone else touch the guitar. They touched it, and I got to touch it. Or my manager, who was a genius guitar player. No one else could touch these guys' guitars. Nobody. And they would hand us the guitars they'd hand them off to the masters. Well, my manager was the master because he'd start playing, and these guys go, "Oh wow, you make my guitar do stuff I can't do on it." And I would just hold and play a few chords, and I would do the adjustments for them for the action, how high the strings would be off the fingerboard and all that. But yeah, that was pretty cool to see these guys come in, and their friends would come with them, and they would stand back and they'd watch me open the case and take their buddy's guitar out of the guitar case that they could not touch, and the guy would be grateful that I would handle his guitar for him and try to make the necessary adjustments and make it work just right. Yeah, so that was respect. Pretty cool stuff. Martin's still my favorite. I have a 62 standard Gibson guitar, mint condition. Wonder what it's worth. Look it up on Google. Do a Google search. Go to eBay. Try and find your guitar. Try and find your guitar for sale somewhere. That'll tell you how much it's worth. I play guitar. I play a gnarly air guitar in the car. Wow, some beautiful guitars listed here. I've got a Sunburst Mexican Strat I love. Jesse, my bad. It's not hard to buy. It's a tweet that says GameStop just turned hard to borrow. Hard to borrow. Interesting. Well, it's 161.81, 16,900 traded. Nothing going on really. It's up a little here, but not crazy up. Have you ever met any rock stars? Not really. I met Paul Revere from Paul Revere and the Raiders. We did a little repair job for him once. We did some cabling work for him in our store once. They were in concert in Kitchener, Ontario, at the War Memorial Auditorium in front of 8,000 fans, or maybe 10,000. They probably held 10,000 fans, and they were performing that day. And we delivered some cable that we had to custom make for these guys for one of their sound systems, and it was like a $60 job. And he paid us in cash. We met him. He was all dressed up in his Paul Revere outfit, that teal blue top with the white tights and the black boots. Yep, and his frilly hat was with his stage manager. And he was so grateful. We came by with a 65-foot long cable we custom made for him. And this is great, guys. Thank you so much. And gave him his receipt, and he folded the receipt up in his pocket, put it in his pocket. He needed his receipts, paying with cash, and he had a wad of money that was like could choke a horse. It was hilarious. And met him for all of a minute. That's funny. That's my big rock star. That's really who I've met. I met Tom Jones naked. I met Tom Jones in the steam bath. Yeah, we were both wearing towels, but yeah, we met Tom. I met Tom Jones. Colin, I have a good one, Colin. Yeah, it was. The music stores were everywhere in those days when I was doing this for my dad's music shop. There were music stores in every town and city. Most music stores offered music lessons, and that's also helped pay the bills. And my dad was calculating. There were months that because of the music lessons, we paid the rent because that's how bad sales were. Sales were so bad that we could just pay the salaries of the staff, and then the rent was paid by music lessons, by those kids coming in every Saturday, Sunday. Well, no, during the week, and then Saturdays was our busiest day for music lessons, of course. School kids. But we had our regular students coming in Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, every week, and they would I think pay $12 a lesson in those days. It was $12 for a half hour or $20 for an hour. I can't remember. And some of the students we had were brilliant. They became brilliant musicians, really took to it. And it was a pleasure I wasn't a teacher, but my dad taught, but the manager of my music store, my dad's music store, he taught. And he had some of his regulars that were almost as good as he was. And they just fed off each other. It was just fantastic. I could hear them playing from upstairs when it was quiet upstairs. I could hear them playing downstairs, and you'd have these two guitars just going at it, playing whatever music they were playing and working on different drills and stuff. Incredible. It was kind of a neat thing to watch or hear. Anyway, Ashley, one of my college friends, does the lights for Fish. They were the band at his wedding. That was a crazy night. I can imagine. Wally, music lessons are the real lessons. Not a Fish fan, but that's pretty damn cool. Very cool. Towels and Tommy sporting his chest hair sweater. Okay. See you, Danger. See. Okay. Music is a wonderful thing. One of my favorite college classes was the history of music. Awesome stuff. Yeah. My daughter took. She studied Led Zeppelin in university. She had a semester, studied Led Zeppelin for a semester, and she was telling me stuff about one of my favorite bands that I didn't know half the stuff she learned. It was pretty cool. That would have been a neat class. Actually, I'm not much of a Fish fan either, honestly. But that would be kind of cool to have a band of that caliber play the wedding. I mean, you're kidding. Holy moly. The biggest wedding I ever played, the biggest, most expensive wedding I ever played, I'll give you a quick story. This is from about 1970, 75, 76. Yeah, it would have been 76, maybe 77, just before I moved away from Kitchener to come to Calgary. I was in a band. I'm trying to remember which band I was in. Was it the big one? Yeah, we were in the big one. We were in a 15-piece brass band. We were from one of the German clubs, and we were in the house band. My dad was in the band. I was in the band. And there were at least 15 of us, maybe 20. And we were hired for a wedding, along with a second band of 5 guys. And what we did is we were on the stage that had been built for this wedding at this convention center. And the wedding had at least, 500 guests for sure. For sure, 500 guests at the wedding. At minimum, could have been 800. It was big. 2 bands, free bar, didn't have to pay for a dime, and food all day long. And it was at a place called Bingham Park in Kitchener, just outside of the city limits of Kitchener. And the Bingham brothers were very successful business people, and they had this huge plot of land just outside of Kitchener, Ontario. And they had a campground area set up, and then they had these huge series of halls, dance halls, and convention halls. And they also had a roller rink. And every weekend I went roller skating for most of my latter teenage years at the Bingham Park roller rink. But they had this convention building, and a brand new building built in like 1974, 75, gorgeous place, beautiful lobbies. And then they had these meeting rooms, and they could open them up into one giant room, or they could bring them down. And we were in probably half the thing, I would think at least. I think they could hold up to 2,000 people, but we were probably in the hall that could hold 1,000. And they built a stage that was 5 feet high, and was like 25 feet across and 10 feet deep, and it could hold all of us easily. And then the other half of the stage we only half the stage. The other half of the stage was in the second band. It was unbelievable. And so we started at 7 o'clock at night and played until 1 in the morning. And we were two bands, music playing all the time. Unbelievable. So there was nonstop dancing, nonstop fun. And we were the formal band. We were the big one. We were the expensive one. And each of us was getting, I think, $15 an hour in 1976, 77 for this gig. So I got paid $75 of one of 20 guys. Like we were at least $2,000 for the night. And my rent for the month was $173 a month. The band that I was in cost $2,000. The other band over there, they probably paid them $600-700 as well. It was $2,800 for the night for the music. In 76, 77, a new car was $7,000. It was insanity. And then the booze and the food. Oh my gosh! And of course the band ate. The band was fed. That was part of the deal. We had an afternoon like before we started. They fed us. Then we played from 7. We played 45 minutes on or 40 minutes on and 40 minutes off. And the other band would be on and off, on and off. And on our second break, they fed us dinner, and they brought out the big buffet dinner with the roast beef that we're slicing and the roast pork and I was just unbelievable. And this wedding was a fortune. And the couple were very attractive couple. They were obviously from a well-to-do family of some kind, one or both, I don't know. And there was no expense spared. No expense was spared for this whole deal. It was pretty impressive to see how all this went down. That was the biggest wedding I ever played. I'll tell you, from a money point of view, that was wild, just wild. Anyway, thank you for popping in with See Me today. Music and playing with instruments, crushing it with two bands in the wedding. That was huge. I have a Jackson Randy Rhodes BC Rich Warlock and recently picked up a solar guitar. Some of these guitars, man, that's unreal. John, Bruce, my best friend when I was young, played his guitar left-handed. He was awesome. Kind of like seeing Hendrix play, right? That's awesome. I still love Paul Revere and Raiders Kicks. Yeah, great song. An old friend's brother is a saxophone player on M83. Check out Midnight City. Oh, man. At 6 years old, Bruce was the drummer for the Beatles before Ringo came around and diarrhea poisoned Bruce out of the band. You missed my first bad joke. So here's another one. Grasshopper walked into a bar. Bartender says, "We have a drink named after you." The grasshopper said, "You have a drink named Steve?" Oh, man. I saw Iron Maiden live. That's all I got. That's all I am. So you're going to play for us, right? Oh, yeah. Giddy up. My buddy Nick Petrino plays guitar for Dee Snider. Pretty cool. And it'd be way cool. Ashley, Michael laughing. I'd like to see a breakout past 163. It's 162, kids. That's where it's at. 162 at only 23,500 shares. 162.30, and it's just kind of hanging around. It's better. It's kind of where it was in the pre-market. Being kind of like there. That's it. I have no news. I see nothing as far as news releases go or anything like that. I don't see anything about rumors or anything, but we'll watch for it. We'll wait for it, see what happens. Anyway, you've got a couple, 3 more minutes to go, and we're going to call it a day. Thank you, guys. Playing live for a crowd is an epic feel-good high. Yep, indeed. Grab it up and rip it. I want to hear some Boston a la Bruce. I didn't play Boston. Gaga has talent for sure. Yes, indeed. We played polkas and waltzes. So I played rhythm guitar. So for a waltz, I used to play like cha-cha, 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 different chords, just downstroke, doon, and then come back, twice back, down once, back twice, doom, cha-cha, the waltz, doom. And it was the same pace for all the waltzes. And then polkas were umcha. That's what I did on the rhythm guitar. I got $15 an hour to do that. Cha-cha. And then the band just played their brass instruments and the clarinets and the trumpets, trombones, and the saxes, and they all played their thing. But I was part of the rhythm section. The drummer and I, we kept the drive going, just umcha. Oompapa music, we called it. Oompapa music. My dad told me, you can play rock and roll for your pals. You can get part of a rock and roll band if you want. But if you want to make money, if you want to make real money, you want to play papa music. You want to play music for the 40, the 50, the 60, and the 70-year-olds. The 80-year-olds will just sit and listen, but the rest of them will dance, and they're the ones with the money, buddy. They're the ones with the cash. Your friends, your 14 and 15 and 16 and 18-year-old friends, they're broke. They don't have any money to spend on a rock and roll band. You have friends of yours that are rock and roll players. You ask them how much money they make a night when they play. A lot of them played for nothing. They were just trying to get discovered. I played papa music, and I'm making $60 a night, $80 a night, and I'm paying $172 in rent a month. Yeah, I'm working 4 weekends. I'm working 4 one-nighters every Saturday night, and I'm taking home $300 a month cash, and my rent is $172 for the month. I got my rent paid just playing papa music. Yeah, and I got leftover money for groceries and a theater to see a movie for $2 a show. And yeah, Jennifer and I did all right. Jen had a full-time job. I played papa music. I was repairing watches and clocks, and I worked at my dad's music store part-time. In a year, we saved $2,000. We had $2,000 in our savings account at the end of a year, living together for the first year of our get together. And I didn't have a full-time job. I was a full-time student doing this on the side. It was amazing how that worked. We saved more money then than we did later in our later years. Funny how that works. Incredible. What can I say? Good times. Yep. You ever smelled mothballs? Yeah, I met Keith Richards in Jamaica. It's in true form. He finished an entire cigarette in less than 30 seconds. My first concert was Neil Young, just him, a guitar, piano, and harmonica. In 72, he set the bar awfully high for all future concerts. I can imagine he would have. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is great. That's Jimmy's Manic Depression Rhythm. Uncle Bruce and the Mooners, so perfect. Shades. Yep, indeed. Guys, thank you for being here with me today for both shows. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for supporting this channel, being members. It's great. Love you guys. 161.98 roughly is where the stock is right now. Volume at 24,000 roughly at this point. That's what we got. We're going to follow this market tomorrow. We're going to follow all the markets tomorrow, see what happens. In the meantime, stay safe out there and stay healthy and take care of yourselves. And if you can get your shots, get your shots. Those of you who haven't had a vaccine shot, get one right away and help all of us get through this. Thank you all for your support of this channel. We have 878 thumbs ups. Thank you for that. We have 704 still watching even at this late hour. Appreciate that. And thank you those of you who have given me thumbs ups today. Hopefully we can get over 800 before I say my final goodbyes. And here we go. Yeah, I played drums. I played drums in a club when I was 16, 1981, says Frankie Beck. Shake Your Booty and the Bee Gees. Oh, yeah, fantastic. That's awesome. Thank you for thumbs ups before you go. 887 thumbs ups right now. Keep them coming in, guys. Let's get it to 900 before we say goodbye. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everybody, and thank you for this. Appreciate it all. 888 thumbs ups. They're coming in. 890. Only 10 to go. We got 900 thumbs ups going to happen here any minute. Thank you so much for this precursor. 893. 7 to go. Here they come. 7 more thumbs ups, and we're going to make it for 900. Thank you all. 162 on GameStop now as well. 898 right there. We're right there. 2 down, 2 to go. And booyah. I feel it. It's happening. We're going to hit 900 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. 901 thumbs ups right there. We have busted through. Thank you, everybody, for that. I appreciate it. It makes it all work. We appreciate it. Have a great night, all. We'll catch you tomorrow morning. First thing in the morning. 1 hour before the opening. Let's make some more money tomorrow. Hopefully, this is a precursor of what's going to come tomorrow. Let's have an update and make a bunch of cash. Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you in the morning. Bye for now.